So, I've decided to veer off of my beaten path for this channel and read a story, just a dramatic reading. I don't need to credit anyone because I wrote it. It's comparable to Goosebumps and Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark in terms of fear factor from the people I've asked, but there is mouth stuff and spiders. So if you don't like that, it's okay. You can leave. So I'm just gonna get started. The title is That's No Cat. I am generally a very soft-spoken person. I can avoid getting called on by over-participating in class. Then the rest of the time, I can enjoy the isolation. I sit in the front of the room and raise my hand every time I know the answer. That way, the teacher glosses over me after a few weeks. I sit alone at lunch. I don't seek out sitting alone. I find a table to sit at and watch as the chairs are swiped for other overcrowded tables. It's not as isolating as it sounds. When people do elect to subject themselves to my company, I usually stay quiet and listen. It's like I'm not even there. Just how I like it. It all changed one morning when I was readying myself to disappear into the background of my classes. I can stay nameless and faceless. I got out of bed at dawn, listening to the crows squawk and cicadas hum obnoxiously as the first tendrils of sunrise peeked over the horizon. My tongue felt heavy, harder to move than normal. It wasn't my skin that was crawling. The inside of my tongue had that same pins and needles sensation you get when you lay on your arm too long. I ran my teeth over my taste buds and flinched as I felt the sensation of pins sharpen. Whatever. I took my shower and got dressed and went to school, hoping to get back to some sense of normalcy. My first class was fine. Mr. Powers is one to ask questions. He assumed I was having an off day and said I could talk to him if something was wrong. I could only nod. My tongue felt so heavy I could barely even form the words in my mouth. Some of the people that endure my presence tried to talk to me in the halls when I didn't say anything in first block. They said something about being worried for me. Yeah, right, I just bit my tongue in my sleep. I'm totally fine. That was what I wanted to say. But I felt my tongue get that pins and needles feeling again. It happened again and again. Every class period, I couldn't talk without my tongue squirming. Mrs. Lenora asked if a cat had my tongue, which gave me an idea. I went to the bathroom to finally look at what was up with my mouth. I looked in the mirror and felt like retching. The taste buds were black and massive with little arachnid legs poking out of my tongue. Now that I could see them, I could feel them squirming, trying to claw their way out of my tongue. There were more than just the ones on the surface. I couldn't taste the blood that had been pooling in my mouth every time one of the little bugs moved, probably because there were spiders replacing my taste buds. There was a sharp pain in my tongue as one of them burst through the base, causing blood to squirt into the mirror as the evil arachnid scurried down my throat. The next moment, my mouth was full of tiny moving spiders, scurrying everywhere to escape. Some went down my windpipe, and others found their way into my nose and down my esophagus. I think I was screaming, or I would have been if I could breathe through all the spiders. I wish it was a cat that had my tongue. Instead, my tongue was commandeered by spiders. It was horrifying. Well, you just endured that. I'm not going to apologize, but I am going to thank you for listening. If this is the kind of stuff you're interested in, this may or may not have a comment section. So if you're interested, you can leave a comment and be like, hey, read some more horror stuff. I'm interested. Or, hey, read some more stories you wrote. I liked that kind of, but not as much the horror aspect. I don't know. Just, I need the social interaction to remain sane. Have a good morning, evening, noon, whatever it is.